Sound check level 1-0. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sound check. Testing Chairman Van Orden's mic. Test 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Which I'll be asking unanimous consent to consider en bloc. All these bills are considered at legislative hearing in the subcommittee. I'm supportive of the bills today that we're presenting, as they are important measures that will help improve the lives of veterans and their families by improving the GI Bill program, offering legal support for veterans filing claims for benefits, and improving the VA home loan program. These bills are a byproduct of bipartisan negotiations, and many of them will need refining before they get to the full committee for consideration, but I'm pleased with the progress that we've made. I hope everyone on the subcommittee will support these bills and continue to work together to address concerns as we move forward in the legislative process. In accordance with the committee rules, the subcommittee has contacted the Congressional Budget Office seeking informal preliminary cost estimates for each of the bills being considered today. Many of these preliminary scores are only a range of potential costs because the subcommittee has still not received official cost estimates on the bills from the Congressional Budget Office. None of these bills being considered here today include the offsets that will be necessary to move these bills forward through the legislative process. However, as we work to refine these bills, the list of these bills that will be considered at the full committee markup, the bills that may be considered on the House floor, we will need to find offsets to ensure that we are in accordance with the House rules. We want to make sure that we are not passing legislation that will increase the debt and burden the American taxpayer and yet still take care of our veterans. I find it interesting, and it's so one of the things, we're talking about the Elizabeth Dole Act, and I think we need to level our bubbles here, because there's concerns from my Democrat colleagues about the cost of this, but we have H.R. 7543, the Guard and Reserve GI Bill Parity Act, and H.R. 8514 to provide for the annual increase for stipend for books and supplies. Both these are going to cost about $7 billion. So we really need to get to a place of common accord on this, because those bills are exceptionally expensive, as is the Elizabeth Dole Act. So I think we're going to be able to find common ground here. I have the utmost confidence in that. And as I said previously, there's going to be several opportunities to make the changes to these bills. The ranking member and I will continue to work with our colleagues on the committee and any stakeholders that have feedback on these bills as we continue to work through the legislative process. And I am very proud, again, of the nonpartisan work that the subcommittee continues to do. I'm very thankful for all of your help, gentlemen and ladies, when they're here. One of the bills that we're considering today is my answer to help veterans who have gotten behind on their mortgages and cannot catch up by refinancing due to the high interest rates in the current market. These veterans on average owe less than $20,000. I have made no secret my opinion on VA VAST program, and I don't think that this is a good idea for the American taxpayers, the borrowers, which are our veterans, and for future veterans, because I feel that if this program is implemented as the VA wants to do, it could potentially destroy the entire VA home loan guarantee, which is the second best program ever developed, in my opinion, by the United States government, the first one obviously being the GI Bill itself. I believe that a partial claim fix offers fiscal responsibility solutions that are in line with other government agencies. One of the other bills under consideration today is my bill to improve veterans' experience at a college campus. My bill would make it easier to hire individuals to fill VSOC positions on college campuses nationwide. I thank the minority for working with us to ensure the best language in these bills that we're going to present today. And finally, I have a bill to improve the apprenticeship program to discourage veterans who are participating in apprenticeships from dropping out. This amendment today is going to require the VA to collect the data and report to Congress on the primary reasons that veterans are dropping out of these programs, so that we can see if we can improve it in some way, because we do want our veterans to participate in these apprenticeship programs. I look forward to working with the ranking member on this bill and other bills being marked up today to ensure that we are doing the right thing for our veterans. And I now recognize my great friend and distinguished ranking member for any opening remarks he may have.
I thank my great friend, Chairman Van Orden, and I'm so pleased that we're holding a meeting today where we have the opportunity to advance a number of important bills onward to the full committee. We have a lot to cover with both a markup and a hearing, so I'm going to keep my opening remarks brief. I want to thank the chairman, along with his staff, for the work on today's agenda. I expect the agenda to move quickly because of the collaboration between our staffs, and that's how it should always work, and I'm so grateful that as this Congress has progressed, we're becoming more and more effective in bringing major pieces of legislation to markup in a bipartisan fashion. I'd be remiss not to bring up Representative Clyburn's Home Loan Forever Act. It's not one of the bills under consideration. However, I do understand that Chairman Van Orden has been speaking directly with my friend Representative Clyburn, and that they've been working on a path forward. I also want to thank Representative DeLuzio, he's not here to hear the thanks, for his work on the Veterans Housing Stability Act of 2024. Well, that legislation's not on the agenda today. The bill is really instrumental in advancing Chairman Van Orden's home loan reform package. So I hope that we move that soon. With that, I'll reserve the remainder of my remarks for legislation as it's called up. I sincerely thank the chairman and, again, our teams who have done really great work here, and I yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member Levin. I now ask unanimous consent to consider en bloc the following bills that do not have amendments. H.R. 7920, the Agriculture Grants for Veterans Education and Training Services, and H.R. 8560, the End Veterans Homeless Act of 2024. Hearing no objections, so ordered. The clerk shall report the bills.
H.R. 7920, to amend Agricultural Research, Extension, and Education Reform Act of 1998 to direct the Secretary of Agriculture to establish a program under which the Secretary will award competitive grants to eligible...
Thank you. The bills are circulated in advance pursuant to committee rules. I ask the reading of the bills be dispensed with and the bills to be open to amendment at any point. Without objection, so ordered. Does any member wish to speak on any of the bills included in the en bloc?
Mr. Chairman.
I now recognize the ranking member.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm glad that the End Veteran Homelessness Act of 2024 was included in today's markup. I was proud to work with Ranking Member Takano and Representative Waters on this common sense legislation, which would allow many more homeless and at-risk veterans to gain permanent housing through currently unused HUD-BASH vouchers. Achieving full voucher utilization is another step that Congress can take to eliminate veteran homelessness, and frankly, we've got to take it. And the underutilization is a real challenge. This bill helps get one step closer to achieving that goal. It's crucial, absolutely crucial, that we address homelessness and all the related issues, preventing veteran suicide, improving overall veteran well-being. Research shows that treatment for suicide risk increases just before the onset of homelessness, which is why opening HUD-BASH eligibility to at-risk veterans is so important. Homelessness and ending veteran suicide are top priorities of this committee, and this legislation will have a major impact on both. Veterans who've sacrificed for our country should never end up on our streets. I think we all agree on that. And this bill would provide support to more veterans to help them find a home. So I urge support for the en bloc, and with that, I yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member Levin. Do any other members wish to comment on the en bloc? I now recognize myself for 5 minutes. The other bill that we have in here on the en bloc is to help our veterans get into farming, and I'm very happy that this was included in the base text of the Farm Bill, which was passed in a bipartisan manner on 24 minutes after midnight on the 24th in 2024. Good luck. 24, just so you know. So with that, I yield back. Do any members have amendments to any of these bills? Hearing none, I now recognize Mr. Levin for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that H.R. 7323 and H.R. 8560 be forwarded favorably to the full committee.
There's a motion to favorably forward the bills included in the en bloc to the full committee. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the bills H.R. 7920 and H.R. 8560 are favorably forwarded to the full committee. I now ask unanimous consent to consider an en bloc to the following bills which have an amendment in the nature of a substitute. H.R. 226, the Veterans Collaboration Act. H.R. 7896, the Vets Opportunity Act of 2024. H.R. 8592, the Warriors to Workforce Act. H.R. 8646, the Modernizing of Veterans On-Campus Experience Act of 2024. H.R. 8647, the VA Home Loan Program Reform Act. H.R. 8661, the Reforming Education for Veterans Act. H.R. 7543, the Guard and Reserve GI Bill Parity Act of 2024. H.R. 8514, to provide for the annual increase in stipend for books, supplies, equipment, and other education costs. And H.R. 8627, the Student Veteran Debt Relief Act of 2024. Hearing no objection, so ordered. The clerk shall report the bills.
H.R. 226, to direct the Secretary of Veterans Affairs to carry out a pilot program to promote and encourage collaboration between the Department of Veterans...
Thank you. The bills were circulated in advance pursuant to committee rules. I ask that the reading of the bills be dispensed with and the bills be open to amendment at any point. Without objection, so ordered. Do any members wish to comment on the bills in the en bloc? The chair recognizes my friend from Arizona, Mr. Subcommittee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. As a member of this subcommittee, I take pride in being able to work with my colleagues to find creative solutions to the problems facing the 70,000 plus veterans that call my district home. One of those solutions, my bill HR 7896, the Veterans Education and Technical Skills Vets Opportunity Act of 2024, is before us today. This bipartisan bill aims to expand veterans' access to educational opportunities for in-demand skilled trades and vocational programs. Specifically, it would extend post-9/11 GI Bill educational benefits to include hybrid versions of skilled trade training programs. Across the country, the educational environment continues to grow more flexible with hybrid and online learning. So we must ensure our veterans continue to have some flexibility and have the same flexibility as well. Not only does this improve the way our veterans access their benefits, but it further leverages the diverse array of educational institutions which will help tackle the current workforce shortage in skilled trades that our veterans are well suited to fill. I am proud of this bipartisan nature and of this bill, and as a result, support the ANS that will emphasize the core intent of the bill, which is to ensure our veterans are engaging with high-quality, substantive programs. I thank my colleagues who have supported the bill and look forward to supporting it in full committee as well. Thank you. Mr. Chair, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the ranking member Levin.
Thank you, Chairman Van Orden, for advancing these 9 bills to the full committee. I want to thank you specifically for advancing my bill, H.R. 7543, the Guard and Reserve GI Bill Parity Act. I know the chairman is a co-sponsor on this legislation. I thank you for your critical support. I can't say it enough, Guard and Reserve members often face the same risks as their active duty counterparts serving side by side. It's only fair and right that every day in uniform counts towards accruing GI Bill benefits. We got close to passing this bill into law last Congress, and I'm hopeful that we can finish the job this year. Additionally, I do want to raise some concerns with the Home Loan Program Reform Act. I know we both share the same goal, keep veterans in their homes, keep the home loan program strong for generations to come. While I'll be supporting this en bloc, I do have some concerns, and I hope we can work together on this bill at full committee to ensure that no one falls through the cracks and that VA has what they need to act in the event of another emergency like COVID. So I urge support for the en bloc package, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. There are amendments in the nature of a substitute to these bills that are considered base text for the purpose of the markup. No objection. So ordered. Do any members wish to offer an amendment to any of the amendments in the nature of a substitute? Hearing none, the question now occurs on agreeing to the amendments in the nature of a substitute, including the en bloc. All those in favor say aye. 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 All opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. I now recognize Mr. Levin for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that H.R. 226, 7543, 7896, 8514, 8592, 8627, 8646, 8647, and, last but not least, 8661 be forwarded favorably to the full committee.
There's a motion to favorably forward the bills as amended, including the en bloc, to the full committee. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the bills are favorably forwarded to the full committee. I ask unanimous consent that the committee staff be authorized to make technical, clerical, and conforming changes to the bills favorably forwarded today. And hearing no objections, so ordered. I thank the members for their attendance today, and the subcommittee is adjourned.